the Healing Through Love podcast with Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson. Explore how to unlock your true self after toxic relationships with Tracey Vaccarino in episode 105.
Just living in so much fear, if that doesn't wake you up to, no, this is not how I was supposed to live. This is not why I'm here. And it's literally like taking off a role. It's like taking off all of this energy that's not you. And I remember being very frightened, and it was such a heightened state of awareness that you're in when you're in this type of situation anyway. And then that only made it more so. But that helped so much, like just having a people who got what you were going through and someone that you could talk to, because they also had private counseling. They would have a group meeting and then private counseling too. Just someone that would reflect back to you, like, I know what you're going through. You're safe. You're not crazy. You're going to get through this. That was everything.
Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast, a space where stories of strength and resilience and transformation unfold. I'm your host, Charlene Lynch, and I'm honoured to guide you on this journey of empowerment and healing. Today, we have a very special episode tailored specifically for you, whether you're driving the car or sipping a cup of tea or simply taking a moment for yourself. I want you to know that you're in a safe place, and Healing Through Love is more than a podcast. It's a community, a beacon of hope, and a reminder that you are not alone. In this episode, we have a guest who will share a story that resonates with the core of our mission, a story that illuminates the power of love, resilience, and unwavering strength that lies within each of us. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let the healing begin. Before we dive into today's inspiring narrative, a quick reminder that if you find this episode, if it touches your heart, consider supporting us by subscribing and sharing and leaving a review. Your engagement helps us reach more people and spread the message of healing through love. Today, we've got an amazing guest. She's amazing. So Tracey has been juggling life for years and hit the proverbial wall. Her entire way of life changed when she developed chronic, debilitating migraines while living in an unhealthy, toxic marriage. We can talk about that. This caused her to say, enough is enough. And with that, she has now put together an amazing philosophy, and she's going to be sharing with us today. Hello, Tracey. How are you?
Hello, Charlene. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm magnificently magnificent. Every day above ground is a good day, and we are definitely above ground. I love this. This speaks really highly, and for our audience, if you're listening, that these things that we carry heavy in our heart, they will have physical manifestations. So if you've got physical ailments, there's a really good chance that there's something internally that needs attention. That's how the human body works. If we don't pay attention to it, it has a physical manifestations. And migraines are a very strong indication that something is off. You're not listening to your thought process. And I just really would love to, if you're okay, Tracey, can we dive into a bit of the conversation in and around this toxic relationship and that point in time where you made the decision, because obviously you had a level of awareness because you had the migraines. They were there letting you know you had the awareness. But, how did you transition, and when was that decision made? Can you tell us that story?
Sure. So yeah, I was in a marriage for 16 years before I went through with the divorce process, but total 18 years. And I, like most of us, we intuitively know when something's off, and then we just kind of override it and just move forward. Yeah. And that's what happened. So through the course of the relationship, things weren't always horrible, right? Like things were okay, but had I known then, what I know now, just about things would come up about how, he would speak about my friends, or, distancing me and trying to, do that whole play to like kind of move me away, which was already kind of done because my family had moved. I had a sister in Tennessee, and my mom and dad had already moved down south to sort of semi-retire. So I was already kind of isolated, and it just made like, the perfect storm. So with, my children being born, I started getting these debilitating. I mean, like it was at least 3 times a week, and I was just laid out and I was vomiting, and I couldn't do anything for myself or anyone else. It was horrific. And I really suffered, and I stayed in that state for years and years and years and years. And we had moved to another state. We had moved closer to my mom and dad. We thought that would help to, with the bringing up of the children while I could work. Long story short, moved back up to New York from South Carolina in the United States. And I just finally said, like, I can't live like this anymore. Like, what am I doing here? I was so afraid to break up the family, but at what cost? Because what was being displayed for them wasn't any wonderful relationship. It was more harmful. And that's what finally made me say, I have to get out now, because things were ramping up. It was like literally coming to a head. And that's when I got help. I got help for the migraines, and I got a lawyer, and now we're friends, if that's helpful for anybody, if you can believe that. I mean,
I hear
everything
you.
is good.
I hear you. I remember the migraines, OMG, looking for a tile to stick my head on or a cold place to lie. Like, I don't know how the cold helped it, but yeah, it's like it's completely surrounds you, and you need the dark, so you can't go outside. And
Oh,
and it's debilitating. You can't drive, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, you can't even barely talk. So yeah, I get it. I understand. I've been there, and more so than there's no explanation for them as well. They don't have a physical reason for the migraines, but they are a metaphysical manifestation of the fact that we're not living our truth, that we know in our
Mhm.
heart and our mind that there is something else that we need to be doing, and we're not. So that level of resistance is creating that. And that goes for lots of other ailments. So if you're having these types of ailments, have a conversation with someone who knows what they're talking about. And I love you, doctors. You're amazing. It's not always the doctors just saying quietly, love you, but it's not always that way. When we've created these challenges internally, they can't put the pieces together themselves. Yeah, I love it. Wow. Okay, so now you've transitioned from that environment. And how long ago was this?
The divorce was final in 2018. So is that like 6 years ago?
It's a little while now, and now you're
Yeah.
living a completely different life. So, can we talk a little bit about where you are now, especially for our listeners? If you're going through the throes of all of this and you're thinking, oh, is there any out? What will it look like for me, in years to come, for my family, for my other relationships? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now?
Yeah, so back then I was primarily a stay-at-home mom, but also had like side businesses. I was trained as an interior designer, and I did that before I was married and before children. So I transitioned from that into helping other women, primarily some men, but mostly helping women to kind of recognize their behaviors and their actions and their beliefs, so they can live from the true essence of who they are and kind of take off this conditioning, this persona that they've been wearing. And I help them through coaching, through an online course, so that they can better realize their full potential and realize who they truly are. And I always say it's kind of like, when you go through that situation, it's almost like you were kind of playing a role based upon the conditioning that you received from your parents or caregivers or whatever happened at that time, whatever was going on as a child. And from that, you learn what is acceptable for your body or what feels safe, even though it could be the most toxic thing. So it's dismantling all of that to come to know who you truly are, and then not requiring validation from outside of you, not requiring anything from outside, just feeling safe and joyful and happy just within, just because, for no other reason.
I love it. I love it. This is so true. If you're listening today and you are a survivor, please know that Healing Through Love Global is running events in your areas. And all you need to do is just jump on our website for more information. But what that looks like is, imagine a pamper day on steroids, if you will, where we've got 20 to 25 exhibitors, all with their own special magic. Some do Reiki, some do facials, some do hair, some do makeup. They do all sorts of things, and they hold that space for you for free, where you come along and have a beautiful adventure. And this is put together by local girls who've got a heart for change. So if you're a survivor and you're listening to today's episode, please reach out to Healing Through Love and find out where we've got a pamper day happening for you. I love it. Oh, this is great, Tracey. This is an amazing story where you've come to that point where things had to change and you had that level of awareness to get help. And I think that's a big thing, is first of all, having that level of awareness. How long is it going to take for us to have that level of awareness? And then what are you going to do? How are you going to get help? And I think those two things are the really two big, very first steps, because you have to acknowledge that things aren't okay. And I know as a survivor that I just ran around telling everyone everything was okay. Well, it clearly wasn't, and just wearing clothes to cover up the bruises, or thicker makeup. So, yeah. So both of those steps are really, really important. Can I ask you, in and around the getting help? Because I know for me, that was a big, big move. Awareness was one thing, but getting help was
Right.
like making it public almost.
Yes.
Actually something wrong. So yeah, can you talk to me a little bit about, how you went through that process of getting help?
Sure. So I believe that it wasn't until it was probably right before the divorce proceedings where my family knew there was something going on, but they didn't know that it was mental, emotional, financial. The only thing it wasn't was physical. And so they knew, like they saw different things. So it was right around the time that I moved forward with the divorce proceedings that I reached out to a center by where I was living at the time. And I started going to meetings every week. And I remember being in such a state of fear at that time, like, oh my gosh, what will happen if he finds out that I'm going here? And, what's going to, happen if they call me or if he sees something on my phone, like whatever it was. And just that alone, just living in so much fear, if that doesn't wake you up to, no, this is not how I was supposed to live. This is not why I'm here. And it's literally like taking off a role. It's like taking off all of this energy that's not you. And I remember being very frightened, and it was such a heightened state of awareness that you're in when you're in this type of situation anyway. And then that only made it more so. But that helped so much, like just having people who got what you were going through and someone that you could talk to, because they also had private counseling. They would have a group meeting and then private counseling too. Just someone that would reflect back to you, like, I know what you're going through. You're safe. You're not crazy. You're going to get through this. That was everything. Yeah.
Hear you. One of the reasons why we started Healing Through Love is that all of the core members of the group have had a personal experience, not just one, many, both in family and domestic violence. And interestingly, even though there's networks out there to assist you, unless you ask the right question, you don't even know they exist. So because women's
Right.
shelters are, protected, because, you can ask your friends, but if they're not experiencing that, they won't really know. And not necessarily the doctors will point you in the right direction if that's your first point of call. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we host these Pamper Days, is so that we can have other exhibitors there that are information based, and we have the police there, and we have people there that can educate people and show them. We even have financial counselors there, and people that also lawyers as well, that can help them and move forward and at least point them in the right direction. And all those services are free. I love it. I love it. Tracey, this is a fascinating story. And now that you've gone through this transition, you're in a space where you're actually holding it for other people and offering this beautiful blended program, which is a combination of working with you one-on-one, and then also core content that you can actually consume online at self-paced, which is fantastic because we all are at a different pace. Can you tell us a little bit more about this amazing 8-week program?
Yes, it's basically it really has to do with self-love, loving yourself, letting go of all of the ways that you've been self-sabotaging or thinking and behaving badly towards yourself, all because of things that have been projected onto you. So it's a dismantling of all of that. And what I learned was I do meditation and breath work through it. Also, I'm certified in both of those things. That doing breath work really has a way. Somebody recently said that this course was like better than 2 years of therapy, because doing the breath work, and then while you're doing the breath work, we're talking about, what you're releasing. It's releasing physical energy that's in your body that's been stored from all the different traumas, not even necessarily from the relationship, but from childhood. You're releasing all of that. You're having to write out a whole bunch of different things about, what is it about yourself that you have to believe that would put you in the situation and that you would stay in the situation, so all of this stuff comes up, and it's a big letting go of and kind of just dismantling this way of being that you thought you were, that you're not. It's all just conditioning that's been put on you, right? To be this certain way. That's why people from the same family, like one person, you have the same parents, one person's one way, the other person's the other way. What's the difference? It's the way that you're believing and taking it on, and the different experiences that you're having. So that's what we do through the course, and it's 8 weeks. And through the 8 weeks, you're going through all different levels, all different areas of your life, whether it be in love, in relationship, in health, in your spirituality, in your finances. And it's going through all of these different things and going through all the beliefs that you're holding, and then just dismantling them and letting them go, and really being solid in the energy, the vibration that you are, because that's the other thing. It's the energy behind everything that calls in these relationships and in these situations. So unless we shift out of that, like we can walk around and sing and dance and be smiley and happy and positive all we want, but unless we're literally shifting out of this energy, we're going to keep attracting the same stuff. So that's what this is helping with.
Manifestation 101, listeners. Absolutely. I love it. So this is the Soul Freedom Blueprint. It's an 8-week course, and the links for this course are going to be here on the show notes and also in the description. And the great part about this is it's not like an online course. It has an online course component, but more than that, you've got that beautiful blended program where you're going to have these one-on-ones with Tracey, and it's going to allow you to move forward and be accountable. Because I've got to ask you, how many online courses have you purchased and not finished? You know who I'm talking to. Yes, I'm talking to you. But, this is different because you've got that accountability and you've got that connection. And, everybody in this journey from where you are to where you want to be gets stuck at different points. And the great thing about having this connection with Tracey is that she can hold your hand because she's done it herself. She's qualified in all of these areas and she can guide you through. I love it. It's fantastic. I'd love to say I'll do the course myself, but I'm waiting for the next course. That leads me to what's next for you, Tracey? What are you up to next?
So I feel like just feeling good in your own skin, in your own body is like a priority for everybody, even people that are just like dealing with everyday stress and anxiety. People just don't feel good and their nervous systems are shot. And I would love to see some different facilities or different places where we could house groups, community coming together in person and just having conversation, having different workshops, different speakers. And I would really love to see them just like pop up all over the world. Obviously, I've been envisioning this and I really want to like have this start rolling out soon. Um, I'm excited about it and I think it's so needed. And then even to do this as far as helping children really understand who they are and not take on emotions and words that people say and make them part of who they are. So that at that young age, yeah, they have that self-awareness and that knowledge that they could just be like, no, I'm infinite energy, beauty, limitless. That's who and what I am.
Yes, absolutely. If we can start at the beginning of the journey and break the mold early, then perhaps we don't have to have a world where the frequency is lower, that where we're having a repeat and a rinse of our previous behavior, our family patterns of behavior, and then just continuing them. So yes, 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 and yes. I love it. This is fascinating. Well, I'll definitely be attending the next course. And I love
Oh,
the idea of a hub. We have them a lot here. So South Australia, where we are, seems to be like a spiritual hub for Australia. Queensland reckon they claim it, but this is not true. We have lots of little groups and wellness hubs scattered all over the place in Adelaide, and great places for retreats that are really designed for this healing in mind, and not necessarily for people who are coming from a place of trauma, just from a place where people want to now transition to a next level of what's possible for their life and take that opportunity. I love it. I love it a lot. And if we have, when we have our next one, I think, Tracey, you'd be a great speaker to come along and speak about,
I'd love to.
particularly about breath work, because I love breath work. It is an under-recognized therapy that, we all breathe. And I think that's why we don't take it so seriously. But are we breathing well? And it's only people that maybe get into speaking or get into singing that really start to pay attention to their breath work. Yes,
Yeah.
and every human on this planet needs to pay attention because we may not be doing it right. Just I love it, especially if you've got challenges with your nervous system. Wow, Tracey, I think that we could just talk forever. I love it. I love your big vision for this opportunity to hold this space for people to step into the next level of what they're doing. I love that. I love that. I want to ask, as we're closing today, what are your words of wisdom to our audience today? And what would be your words of wisdom today?
Just to really be true to yourself, to not feel like you have to do anything to please anyone, any family member, or what the societal norm is, to really just be true to yourself, to your soul, because that's why you're here. You're here to enjoy this life and not to do something for someone else. And how could you? Because if you're not happy, how can you radiate love and happiness? Right? So just choose you, and to just really learn that you are enough as you are.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And exactly what Tracey was talking about, this journey for the next version of what's possible in your life starts with that level of awareness. Don't let it be a migraine. That shows you they're not comfortable. But, if you can take this quiet time, and this is what Tracey talks about with her meditation, if you can take that quiet time to lift your level of awareness, just because this is the way things are, is this the way things need to be moving forward? Could there be another vision for what's possible for your life? If you can just have those quiet moments, you're intuitive. We all are. We're designed this way. But we're sort of a little closed off when we're living in our own trauma. But if we can look into that and then see what's possible for our life and follow these beautiful methodologies, this breath work and this meditation, imagine what's possible for your life. Imagine where you'll be this time next year. you'll be interviewed here. Love podcast. It's fantastic. So just as a closing note from Healing Through Love, we're running masterclasses regularly every month for women who are interested. I'm saying women because we do have a program for men, but we find that we support women with women. We find this is better because most of them are in a trauma space. And if you want to make a difference, reach out to Healing Through Love, because we have masterclasses regularly where we're helping others learn how they can hold a pamper day in their local area. So this is all free. The committee's put it on for free. So we'd love to, if you've got a heart for change and you want to either be a volunteer at an event, want to be a participant, want to be an organizer, or want to be a contributor in some way, please reach out to us at Healing Through Love. We've got masterclasses regularly. We'd love to show you what's in store for these beautiful pamper days, which are going to be happening and are happening nationally and also globally. So we're very excited about that. It's been a lovely conversation. I'm looking forward to another one. Tracey, I think we're going to have you back because there's more to talk about. I'd love to dive in deep to have a conversation about breath work, specifically, one of my favorite subjects, and how you commingle the meditation with the breath work so that you can have that next level of what's possible. I love it. Thank you so much for being with us today. And
thank you.
Thank you. Her Soul Freedom Blueprint 8-week course is available. The links are in the show notes and in the show description. And please reach out. Tracey, where's the best place for people to get hold of you?
Really, the best place would be my email at info@, and it's my name, TraceyVaccarino.com, or through my website, which is www.traceyvaccarino.com.
I love it. I love it. We'll put all of those links in the show notes and in the show description to make it easier for you. Thank you for listening to Healing Through Love. We love to hold this space for beautiful conversations to show you what is possible for you to move forward, because you've got this. You're designed this way. That's a goodbye from me and a goodbye for Tracey.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.